All right, I've been out here working on the 63 Coupe de Ville that went and got from Rob, Winter Haven. It was a long drive. It was fun though, because we stopped at the Golf World where we had the Grand National last year. Anyway, I was just noticing, because I was trying to confirm to someone, these had a metal lined and rubber lined, and then the tower clamps, and then the metal line going to the transmission. And I thought that was the case. I was 99% sure. Now one of them's been replaced, but you got tower clamps, about 3-inch hose, maybe 2.5, 3-inch, and then you've got the line. This is the left side line on that. Anyway, this one's pretty cool. I'm hoping that the front cover is pretty decent when I pull it off. And I need to ask Rob about this engine. I know it was kind of running. It would get it up on the car. It didn't have a lot of power. And the exhaust manifold looks pretty good. That'll clean up pretty decent. And there were some pretty good things on this car. The trim, the stainless, of course, usually holds up pretty well. The interior is pretty rough. So anyway, and this has the tilt. This is 63 with tilt, and I'll have to go back through my list to see. It shows, you might not can see that, 02354. I'm thinking 102,000. I don't think this car has 202,000. Clock's pretty rough. Anyway, this one's got a lot of cool parts on it. We're hoping to restore other cars with this car. And of course it's got the big 2 doors. One thing I'd learned a long time ago is the hinges are the same as the 4-door hinge, and they support a whole lot less weight. So if you're looking for hinges for your big 2-door cars, I have tons of them from 4-door cars, and they're usually much better shape. Although this door shuts nice, I think. Yeah, this is a really solid straight door. Hinges on this are fine, but anyway, the 4-door hinges are usually better. I always know Bendix because you got the bumps, the Bendix bumps. And anyway, I was looking at the right-hand driver cars, and I thought, well, they must switch everything. The heater box, air box, everything must be, most things must be swapped around. Have the steering on the right side. Anyway, this one looks pretty clean once you get into it. Again, I might need to check with Rob, find out about that block of the big Hydromatic. Can't go wrong with that. It's a good transmission. I used it for many years. Radiator's good on it, from what I can tell. I think it just needs to be cleaned up and straightened up. Anyway, my compressor just, and I got a nice rear section. Lots of spring on both CD joints, which is kind of hard to find. Usually they're, if they're loose, that usually means they wore out and they'll rattle, shake the car. This is the way I work. I put my tools on trash cans flipped upside down. And of course the air compressor makes everything much faster. And I'm gonna have a nice starter, I think. I know it worked because we cranked the car. And they actually had a heat tube that went down to the exhaust manifold on this car. And anyway, you can see the heater box, evaporator, suction throttle valve, all that good stuff. And there is oh man, that almost looks like an aftermarket rag joint. We talked about that a little bit. And anyway, this is I got to get it up on the trailer right here because these tires are sold and it's hard to move it around without tires. So I'm going to hopefully get it on the car hauler here. and not car related, but this is my house project. This is the old 101-year-old porch ceiling that we're redoing. So I kind of go between car stuff and house stuff, and man, that's a lot of boards. And anyway, I think it'll turn out pretty good. So I enjoyed working on the old house. I like my old light I found. It's a new light, looks old, and it's got the corner here, so they'll meet both ceiling boards that come up. So I'm framing them. It was run that way. Now I'm running it perpendicular to the house. I think that looks nicer. Anyway, we have a lot to do with the old house. It's pretty cool though. So anyway, I got to get back to the yard work with the car. Signing out. Pray for me. I'll give you a bird's eye view here.